Yo, welcome back to the second edition of Chris Morgan's Says. And this episode is going to be great. And why is that? Two awesome guests and a Skype call. And I'm going to introduce you now. And you know very well, the world knows, and one of the greats, the icons. Here he is himself, Mr. Jim Norton.
That's far too big an intro for what I'm going to deliver. Should be a very small. I like small intros because then there's no pressure. Hi, Jim's here. Let's hope it goes well.
Oh, I'm used to the wrestling announcing style.
Hey, no,
Screw
it's not
you,
bad.
damn it.
I don't handle
I
pressure
built
well.
it up. I have passed out for that announcement. And also, we have the well-known, the model, the cam girl, the very lovely Sarah Russi.
Hey.
How are you guys today?
I'm very good.
Thank you
I'm
so
good.
much for appearing. It's an
course.
honor to have you both here on the second edition of Chris Morgan Says. I'm stoked you're both here. I'm on the other side of the coin. This is freaking wild, man.
Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Either way, either side of the coin, I love it. Are you kidding? It's an honor that you're here, man. It's awesome. So I want to start out basically The Irishman, the movie you were in, the role that you play. Of Don Rickles. That
Very
was
small role.
small role.
Yeah.
Okay. Like how many minute role was it?
I mean, you maybe for a minute. I'm in a nightclub scene where Sebastian Maniscalco is. It's with De Niro and Pesci are there, and Sebastian plays
wow.
Joey Gallo the night he was killed. So one of the things he did was went and saw Don Rickles. So I was just happy I made the final cut, and I didn't know I made it until I saw Ray Romano the night before. He's like, "Hey, you were good. You were in it." So then I realized, okay, I can go to the premiere.
Very. Now, what was the experience like? Like, how was it working with everybody? Was everybody cool? Was there a lot of pressure? Did it not take too many takes to do it? Did it go very smoothly? Just fill me in on the whole experience of it.
It was scary because it's those guys. I had done a little stuff with De Niro before, so I knew him. So I was comfortable with him. Pesci, I was, and Scorsese, I'd never done anything with. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and Pesci heckled me at one point while I was
About
on
what?
stage.
To fill me in,
I
fill
don't
me in.
remember. He's like, "You better be, don't bomb." It was something really. I was like,
Did
"Oh
he say "you motherfucker you" too? Did he say
no!"
that?
He didn't
Did
curse.
he show an ice pick at you?
No, that would have been a relief. No, he just heckled me, and I stayed in character as Rickles. And it was weird to be playing Rickles because they all knew him so well. But it went well. And we shot it 2 years ago, and I'm happy I made the final cut.
Oh, I don't blame him. That's a dream, dude. And to work with him, he's the best. And how is Mr. Scorsese work with him? And how is he as a person? How does he work? Is he very do? I mean, describe his mythologies and how good is he? And how is your chemistry with him? Everything.
I didn't audition for the part. I heard they wanted to use me for it, and that he had watched a couple of my specials, and he said, "Yeah, I think he can do that." So I had to meet him in his office. I went to his office, and I just sat with him and talked for 10 minutes about comedy and old comedians, and it was very conversational. I was in a depression at that time, so I was not nervous. It was weird when you're in a depression how nothing matters.
Right.
So I was in a horrible depression. So I wasn't even slightly nervous talking to him because I didn't care where it went.
Right.
And,
right.
I mean, afterwards, I was like, that was great that it went well, but I was just so depressed it didn't matter. So I think I presented myself well because I didn't try too hard. And then when I did the actual shoot, he was awesome. He's nice to everybody.
Easy to work with, flow well.
Great. He's Martin Scorsese.
Really?
He has nothing to prove. He doesn't
Well, that's
yell.
true.
He's a gentleman. He's sweet. He's like, everybody, we're having fun. It's a comedy club, And I was doing Rickles jokes. It wasn't my own jokes. So it was weird to be doing somebody else's jokes over and over and over.
Right. And I assume you've seen. I was actually watching more of Don Rickles' roasts from the days with Dean Martin back. I'm sure you've seen all those. I mean, were they one of your favorites of all time? Was he one of your favorite comedians of all time? Who are
No.
your favorite comedians?
Richard Pryor and George Carlin, Robert Klein, like those guys I love. Woody Allen,
Yes.
as a stand-up,
Yep.
not so much as a dad.
Lewis Black, you like
Uh,
him? Rodney Dangerfield?
I was listening to Rodney today. I love Rodney. Lewis is a friend, so he was never a guy I like Lewis and I respect Lewis, but I mean I've known Lewis for many years.
Oh, who is I'd say, who have you worked with the most out of all the comedians, if at all? Or that you're the closest with, the best?
I mean, Colin, Bobby Kelly, and those the Comedy Cellar for 20 years, so it's kind of hard to say. Maybe 25 years actually. So you're just in and out with these guys. Keith Robinson,
Right, right.
Just decades with the same guys.
Oh, that's fascinating. See, now, like another question I have is that I grew up watching Saturday Night Live, big fan of it. And pretty much around the time after like Dana Carvey and Chris Farley was off the show, from like the Bill Murray to that era was pretty much when I lost interest in it. Have you ever done like a lot of work on that show with people directly with that show and other projects?
Which show?
From Saturday Night Live?
I just know a lot of them over the years. You know, I mean, you get from being a comic, you get to know everybody. They come in, they do sets,
Right.
and it's weird. The longer you're around, the more people you know. Like Michael Che, I know, and Colin, Jost, I know. It's just from again being a comic. So no, I never did anything. I did one thing on those set. The first Colin Quinn shows in 2002. We went on live. We did 3 episodes. I was in 2 of them live. So you were doing material on the SNL stage. It was right after Rosie came out of the closet, and she was on
Oh,
the
wow.
West. That's how long ago that was.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, that was the only experience I've had on that. Although what she does is harder. To me, what she does is more difficult and scarier than doing stand-up. Being on camera and like that is to me much scarier than being a stand-up.
Is that true for you? Like, or it's no problem for you? You're cool with it by now, or?
I mean, it's behind a screen, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But when I do photo shoots with a guy I don't know, and, it's not really a photo shoot. It's just like a guy with a camera who's paying me to take my clothes off.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Is it
Right,
scary?
Yeah, sometimes. But I usually run
But you have
background.
security though there, right? Obviously.
No.
No?
No, I don't have security.
So
Travel
what was
with
the
a
most?
pistol.
What's that?
Travel with a pistol
Yeah.
or mace.
Right? Or a BB gun or something. At least a golf club, for God's sakes.
I run background checks, so at least I can make sure that they don't have a criminal record.
Well, that's important.
Have you found anyone with a criminal record?
No, not yet.
Okay.
She hasn't looked me up yet. I think we all got to be a little bit nuts so to be on this show anyway, though.
No, but she does cam stuff. That's scary. Like that's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't be nude in front. Like it would really terrify me to do that. So
Yeah.
it's a hard
Even
job.
like pole dances, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it takes a special person to have guts to do that. You know?
I have no confidence and I shouldn't.
Oh, come on.
I mean to be
What's
naked.
the freaking matter with you, huh? Come on. Nah, man, you'd be all right. But I totally see what you're saying. I couldn't do it, especially in a large crowd of people. Like, for example, like, I guess for you, the more people that are around, the scarier you get. It's like the more, you're like, all right, I can't do this. There's too many people around and you back out. Or it doesn't matter to you how many people are around. Even if you're nervous, you'll still do the shoot.
Usually there's only one guy at the shoot. It's not like a group shoot type of thing.
Okay. All right. And you enjoy, everything's going well with that? You enjoy and all that? And
I do,
You're
and
getting
I
a lot
like
of
the
bookings?
camming mostly because it's,
You like the what?
Like I said, the camming because
Okay.
it's behind the screen, so I don't have to see anybody and I don't have to deal with anybody and worry about anything like that. But I don't like doing phone sex because sometimes they'll just hang up out of nowhere, and it's kind of like I need to have like a script in front of me because I'm like, okay, what does this guy like? They don't even tell me what they like. So, I might say something like choke me and they might not like that. They might be like, ew, and like hang up on me.
See, but I would imagine, and let me know if you would agree with me. I think that would be more fun because you don't know where you could take that. You could fuck with people, but concurrently, it could be hysterical the way you put it out. If you feel that they're not giving the vibe back that they're interested in, and just to have fun, fuck with them, and then I think it would just flow. You would be relaxed. What do you think?
Well, I mean, you should always. I would never hang up on somebody for saying that's a little harsh. They probably came. Is it a minute?
Yeah, sometimes they like come after a minute and I'm like, wow, okay. So I charge like $4 a minute and like it's like, wow, I really picked up the phone for that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
You get a lot of those?
Yeah.
Really?
They probably hang up immediately because they know they have to pay for the charges. That's probably why they hang up. But why would
Yeah,
you hang
they're
up on
trying
something?
to scam or whatever.
Save a few bucks. Save
Yeah.
$4 instead of
Right.
saying goodbye, which at the most is going to be $4 more. How long does it take to fucking say goodbye? It's fast.
That's when they go run to the 25-cent piece.
You're really broke if you want to jerk off on the phone and you're like, I don't want to spend an extra $4 to wrap this up politely. You're really cutting corners.
Exactly. Also, too, I'd heard about when I was listening to, which I'm going to mention to Sam when he comes Skype in a little while. He was also talking about how John Travolta's his career reboosted and all that with that movie, the
Pulp Fiction.
no. Well, no, I mean after that, the newer one. Oh, The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Yep.
Did you see that? How good was it? And do you agree with Sam's view on how he could still kill it and come back after all these years, even though the critics doubted it?
Well, I didn't see it, so I haven't heard particularly great things. But Sam is a big Travolta fan, so he may be biased because he likes Travolta so much.
Right. Right.
For his lifestyle and also for his film work.
How about the new Joker movie? Did you see
I
that one?
did.
yet?
I liked it very much.
It was good.
I
Was
didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
So it was you liked it better. It was better than you expected.
Way better than I thought. I had heard
Really?
enough good things, and a couple of friends of mine are in it, like the comedians I know, like Mark Maron's got a part, and Gary Gulman and Sam Morril. So it's like seeing your friends. I was very jealous of Maron because he had a scene with De Niro and Joaquin Phoenix in the Joker makeup, and I'm like,
Right.
that would have been. I'm not a comic book fan, but that would have been a very cool scene
Mm-hmm.
to be in with those two.
I used to be in the old Fantastic Four from the old comic book days. Remember them?
Oh yeah.
Doctor Doom. Yeah, he was my favorite from the old days.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And would you agree with him? As far as like, did you see the movie?
No, I didn't see the movie.
You didn't
at
see
all.
any of them.
I actually haven't been to a movie theater since I was like 15.
Why?
Oh wow! Why? Yeah,
You don't
why?
like
I
them?
don't know. I mean, I like certain movies. I like movies about serial killers and sad movies.
Oh, it's a Joker. Well, you probably would like. It's a
It's
weird.
not real though. It's not based on a true story, so I don't think I would like it.
Oh, you like legit murderers.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
You like The
Okay.
Irishman then. It's a very long film, but it is based on a guy who was a real
I
murderer.
heard it's like 3 hours, right? 3.5 hours.
3:29, yeah, and he cut a half hour down from 4.
Did he really? Wow.
Yeah, it's a different type of film. But it's for Netflix. It'll be great on Netflix. You can pause, take a piss, and you don't lose anything.
Right, exactly. And you didn't see the Joker, the Irishman, nothing.
No,
Oh, wow! You should go see it. I mean, I heard they're
I
great.
should.
Right? It's critique
I'll have to
it.
go now.
Yeah, we should just drag her there. Take her
Yeah.
there. Come on.
I just saw the Joker.
You got the rope? Drag her feet.
You probably wouldn't have to drag her feet. That'd be too creepy to drag somebody into a movie theater.
But you don't get put nothing past me, Jimmo. Come on.
That's true. He just wants me to help him pull. I'm not gonna pull.
She's light. I think I can handle pulling myself.
What's the last thing you saw in the theater?
I remember.
Oh,
It's
wow.
been that long.
That long ago. You don't like comedies or nothing? Or action movies?
I used to when I was in high school, but usually I would just fool around in the back of the theater, so I would never really watch the movie.
I think we all did at one point.
I don't know if I ever have.
No?
No, I had a crush on a girl. This is what an old fuck I am. I went and saw E.T. in the drive-in with this girl that I had a big crush on. We sat there and watched together, but she wanted nothing to do with me physically.
Ah,
Nothing
that
to do
sucks.
with me. No, it was all right. She was right.
Why
Yeah.
would she agree to go to the drive-in with you?
We were
if-
friends. She had a mullet.
Oh.
I mean, it's 80s. She just,
Wasn't it expected that she put out if she goes through
no,
the
I didn't
drive-thru?
drive. No, we hopped the fence and sat there outside.
Oh, okay.
I was not a winner when I was growing up.
Trying to jumpstart the car.
I was probably too young to drive. I mean, I'm 51 now, so I was
It
probably
was in '82 when the movie
I was
came out.
14 then. So,
Wow.
yeah, I didn't drive.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So tell us more about how you've been doing and like what's your latest things going on. You traveling a lot to Philly more? Are you more in New York? I mean, where do you spend most of your time doing most of your work? Or
I've
is
been
it
mostly in
50-50?
New York City, but every now and then I'll go back to Pittsburgh and spend a month out there.
Okay.
It's interesting. I know more photographers out there, so I get hired more out there than I do here. And I feel like a lot of the photographers look for girls that are taller here.
Really?
Yeah,
Do
I
they
feel
say
like,
that or you sense that?
well, looking at the casting calls,
Oh,
they're
who
always
they're
looking
picking
for taller girls.
over here than in Philly. So you
Even
feel more
for-
comfortable when you go to Philly then? They're less
Well,
segregative?
Pittsburgh is even
Pittsburgh.
further than Philly.
By
like
a
near
long shot.
Ohio. And I know some photographers in Ohio, so I'll go out there too.
Have you heard has this gone on with other stuff with stories with casting calls where you feel like they've wanted taller people instead of shorter people, or I guess
No.
it depends on the role, or
Normally, when I show up, they want anyone else. Taller, shorter, doesn't
less
matter-
annoying.
Yeah, less annoying. Doesn't matter the gender, the race. They're like, we don't want you.
Well, they know you by now. Oh, here comes this fucking outlaw again. Oh no.
Now they kind
But-
of know. Like if I get asked to audition for something, I know that I should do it. If they're like, no, they're requesting you to see you, then I'll do it. But
Right.
other than that, I try not to. I don't like auditions.
Oh, really? Wow.
No.
I never thought that.
No.
Do you have anything else coming up from major promotions? Anything coming up? Major motion pictures? Anything coming up in the future? Anything in the talks? Negotiations? Nothing yet? Or
I shot something for Netflix, which comes on New Year's Eve, stand up, called The Degenerates. And I shot that in Vegas about a month ago. And
how'd that go?
I was really happy. I'm glad I did it. First, I didn't want to do it, and I'm really happy I did it.
Tell us about the experience. Like, what was it like? How did?
It was a shorter set. It was a 20-minute thing, which they're doing a lot more of now. And
Why is that?
because the algorithms show them A, they can pay you less, and B, because they say that a lot of people just watch for 20 minutes. So guys that are on a level of like Chappelle or Bill Burr, they're doing hours, but they're not giving out as many hours. And so I had to debate if I wanted to do it, but then I'm like, well, yeah, don't be fucking stupid. Do it. And I'm really happy I did it.
Good.
I'm really,
That's good.
really happy I did it.
Good. Baseball fan. You guys baseball fans. Yankees. Oh, you don't watch baseball at all? No sports.
No, although I'm happy the Yankees are winning, so now I'll be a Yankee fan. I'm only a fan when teams are winning.
Oh, a front runner.
At 100%.
Ranger fan?
I don't watch hockey at all.
Oh.
If the Cowboys win, I like them. If
I
they
hate the
don't,
Cowboys. I'm a
they
Redskins
can go
fan.
fuck themselves. Why would I support a team that stinks? I am a front runner asshole fan.
Steve Vincent. I'm just an asshole. How about you? You watch sports?
No, I don't watch any sports.
No
I never
sports
got
at all?
into it.
Never.
Do you watch sports?
Well, I used to, not as much, but yeah, I used to watch football and hockey. That was my thing. A Redskins fan and a Ranger fan. Yep. But when they both won, their coveted things, I was happy. That's when I didn't watch it as much anymore. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you from Pittsburgh. It's like, aren't there very sports people there? Like that, they're real like
They love the Steelers.
Yeah, and the Pirates even. Not as much, but I mean, they're like real like the deer hunter type people. They like sports. They like outdoor shit, and your family didn't get you into it.
No, even well, I grew up in Boston. And
Oh, okay.
They always
You
used
did?
to watch,
Okay.
like,
I thought you grew up in New York
baseball.
City.
No.
Boston. Okay, so when did you move out here?
Well, I moved to Pittsburgh after Boston, and that was about 3 years ago. So I've been living there for 3 years.
Okay.
I had met somebody out there, so we started dating, and we lived together, and then we broke up, stayed roommates for a little while, and then he moved away, and then I just got my own place there.
Okay.
I love Boston.
Yeah. How many times have you been there? And what do you love about Boston?
I just like the mentality there. They're
Yeah.
upset white people. And
Yeah.
they're good. They're like Philly. They're like, you know what I mean? There's a mentality there that I just like.
But I heard you shouldn't wear a Yankees anything there, right? Like you might get beat up. Are they that hardcore there?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to beat you up. But
Really?
They'll say things. I mean, I've said I'm a Yankee fan on stage.
Like you've been harassed like in the streets? If you want?
No.
Never? Nothing like that?
Outside of Fenway, maybe, sure, the drunk. But, on stage, I've said it to a lot of people. And, they booed, but then they don't give a fuck.
Really?
I don't
Okay.
really care.
I'm so upset. Oh, yeah. So I wanted to ask you, since everybody's been calling me Pesci since I'm young, how is he like off camera? Like, is he still crazy? Is he normal? Is he quiet? Is
Very
he chill?
quiet.
Really?
Very quiet. I talked to him after the shoot for a minute, and he told me it was, he's like, oh, you did a great job. And then he looked at my jacket, and he got a little sad because he said, it reminds me of a jacket Frank Vincent used to have, and Frank Vincent had died not long before then, and they were in a band before he was an actor. Like he knows Frank Vincent for many, many years. So that was my experience with him. He was very, very quiet.
Interesting. Oh, I heard recently about Dan Aykroyd. He was great on. I'm sure you know who Dan Aykroyd is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he was. As you know, him on camera, he was great, but off camera, he was just very quiet. And once the camera's rolling, it was unbelievable. I was like, no way, you can't believe that.
Is he football or baseball?
You mean a fan of?
No, does he play football or baseball?
Oh, Dan Aykroyd, he's an actor.
Oh.
So happy that just happened.
Yeah, I know. Let's ask who's going to win the World Series. She'll probably say the Detroit Red Wings, right? She won't have a clue.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was he was in the Blues Brothers. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I've heard of the name. Like, I heard of his name. I didn't know who he was.
Belushi,
okay.
James Belushi. You never heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, they were
Yeah.
both the Blues Brothers. You should see it. It's a classic
Yeah,
movie.
Dan Aykroyd and James Belushi.
Yep. Have you ever? So back to sports, real quick. I want to ask you: have you ever met any really, really famous sports figures? And if so, what'd you do? What was it like? Tell us. Who was the coolest? Crazy wild parties? Anything? Tell me.
None of them were.
Wanna hear it.
None of them were wild. The one I liked, the one I wanted the most was Muhammad Ali. That was the biggest one for me.
Really?
Meeting him, yeah. I mean, he was very old and sick by the time I met him. He
Mhm.
couldn't really talk because he had Parkinson's and he was on very heavy meds.
Yeah,
I met most of the boxers I've wanted to meet. I've met a lot of athletes that I wanted to talk. Guys I loved, I got to meet and
Right.
interact with, interview. They're all fine. Fighters I like the best. They're the best personalities.
Oh, you mean boxers?
And UFC fighters, all those guys I've interviewed, they have the best. They have nothing to prove. They're not. They're nice guys.
Oh, wow.
And, athletes are a little arrogant. I don't know LeBron. I've met him briefly.
Okay.
He was at the Comedy Cellar one night. So I met him upstairs for like a second and took a photo with him.
Oh,
He
okay.
wanted nothing to do with it.
Really?
No. I don't blame him.
Oh, it's horrible. How about you? You have any particular, even though you don't like watch sports, like is there anybody that maybe you're most attracted to, or you find, oh wow, like I just like about him, he's like a favorite of mine, or you just completely don't give a fuck about sports?
Not at
Not not
all.
at all.
I never paid attention to sports.
Right, what were like growing up, what were your hobbies? What were your favorite shit to do?
Go to the park.
Go to the park and what, chill
Yeah.
out, get fucked up? Like
Oh, like how old are we talking? Like when I was like 5, I'd go to the park.
no, 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 no. Like like around 18 or something like that. 17. Like once you're in high school, like what were your hobbies? Like
Shopping, meeting boys.
okay, like no, like volleyball. You got into like a club like field hockey or
No, I didn't
you,
do any of that.
you didn't do any of
stuff.
that shit.
I like he's pulling all these weird sports up. Badminton. You ever play badminton? Play table tennis?
You ever
when
take
were a
your
young lady?
high school bully and put him in a hammock and slingshot him into the neighbor's next yard? You didn't do shit like that?
No.
We fucking did. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What was the wildest shit you did in high school? Wild high school stories. Come on, let me fucking hear it.
Called a
Drunk stories.
called a bomb threat into my high school, and they emptied the school.
No, you're full of shit. Are you
No,
dead
no,
ass?
I was-
Why did you do it? You just said fuck
I
it?
was drunk. It was supposed to be the 80s. I was. We used to make prank calls, and there was nuns that would like help runaways. So I would always call and pretend I was being molested. But again, my drunk friends were around. I was probably 16 when I
Thank God
did
you
it.
didn't become a priest.
Back then, there was no caller ID. There was no SAR 69. There was none of that shit.
Right.
And I called a bomb threat. I called a couple of bomb threats in, and none of them ever worked. And this one worked in the high school. They cleared out and all went out into the parking lot. Now
Holy
they would
ma-
just trace your number, or now it's a much more serious thing. In the 80s, it was just some dickhead called up and, and whatever.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's something I would do. You ever do crazy shit like that with your friends where,
Nothing
let's say
that
somebody called the
crazy.
cops on you, or
No, nothing that crazy.
what's the craziest shit you ever did? Wild story, a party story, anything.
Oh, I called threats into the White House, too.
No,
but I was
you
probably
didn't.
12. I was 12 years old, 13 maybe.
How did
I
you
was
get the
very-
number there?
I called through an operator in D.C. or something like that. I was on a payphone, and I called in threats to. I don't remember, but I was really young when I did
This
that.
is in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you-
it was
do you
a
remember the
payphone in the library.
Do you remember the conversation? How it went?
No, I just remember doing it. I might have been a little drunk. It's a vague memory in and out. Thank God I didn't do that when I was older. Yeah, I was just a boy. Stupid asshole I was. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. I forgot to mention to you also, I'm going to be getting into some acting.
Oh, okay.
And recently, I'm going to be getting into working on a new a pilot for a possible upcoming sitcom with Kathy Moriarty. And
Does she know this? Like, have you talked to her?
oh yeah. I was we actually got invited over the house with a whole bunch of people, and we were reading a script and met the family. She wasn't there. She's doing something in Jersey, but beautiful house, whole view of the Peconic Bay, unbelievable, beautiful home. I guess you probably were never there, right? Or
No, I've never met her, but I love her. And she was in Raging Bull.
yes,
She
you
was
ever
in a
see
movie
that?
called Neighbors.
No, never saw it.
She was in Neighbors with Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi as well.
Yeah, she's done a lot of famous work. She was with Robert De Niro, Pesci. You never saw Analyze This or Analyze That? I'm sure you've seen those.
I have, yeah.
Oh,
Never
with Billy
saw it.
Crystal. Oh, Jim, please tell her how good these movies are. Just give her a synopsis of.
I don't know what she likes, so she might not think they're good. I don't know what her taste is.
Do you like mafia movies at all?
No, not at all.
Well, this
She
is like
likes true serial killer movies, like Henry, Portrait
Yeah,
of a Serial
I
Killer.
loved Monster. That's a good movie.
Good. Eileen Warmis' story. You like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever see the movie Misery from the 90s?
No.
That's another great one, right? Remember that one, Misery?
Yeah.
You like that one. That's a great
What's
one.
it about?
An author, Stephen King wrote. It's an author who is in the mountains and he has a car accident, and the woman who finds his flipped over car is a huge fan of his work, and she's mentally ill, and both of his legs are broken, so he's stuck in this mountain cottage with this psychotic woman who wants him to write something. He killed off a character and she doesn't like it, and she's mentally ill, and now he has to write something. It's very good. It's Kathy Bates is in the movie, James Caan. Really good.
Yeah,
That
okay.
sounds good.
Do
Yeah.
you know who Kathy Bates is?
No.
Yeah, okay. Did you see the movie Titanic?
Yeah.
All right, remember the
She
old
played
lady?
the boat.
Yeah, she's the one. She was sitting next to DiCaprio. You remember her?
I think so.
Well, anyway, she's the same lady that was in that. Fantastic. You
Wait,
gotta
what did
see
she
it. if
do
you-
in? What did she do in she was next to the. I don't remember her from that.
I forget what her name was in the movie, but she was part of the elite group that was in first class on the ship.
Oh, right.
Remember?
right.
And
yeah,
she was
yeah.
like, she was starting to like basically reveal how most of the people on there were pompous and rich, but she was actually nice. She had like the nice hats they wore from like the early 1900s, and she basically got to know DiCaprio in the movie, and they were becoming friends. But yeah, she was also in Misery. So if you like that kind of stuff, you have got to see that movie. It's an absolute classic. What do you like? What are some of your most favorite movies that stand out from horror movies, and your favorite actors, and why?
Well, like
Like,
I
why
said,
you appeal to
I
them?
like Monster. I liked Boys Don't Cry. That was a good one.
That
Never
was
saw
great.
that. Never saw that. Cape Fear with De Niro. She may not have seen it from the mid
Uh,
'90s.
Yeah, she like Boys Don't Cry is a true story. Hilary Swank. He likes true stories.
Fill me in on that again. What was that about?
So it was about this girl. I didn't see it in a long time. So it was about this girl who was a lesbian, and I think in the movie, like she dates a guy who doesn't realize that she is.
No, she's dating a girl. She's posing as a boy dating a
Oh,
girl
right.
because she's gay. So she's dating this girl, but she's kind of butch, so she looked like a boy.
Okay, right,
And
right.
it's a true story. I forget the person's name it's about. And I don't think the girl knew. I don't remember correctly. The girl might not have even known that she was dating another woman.
Yeah, they didn't know.
And the boys were very angry when they found out.
So at the end, what happens is they get shot. The girl gets shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie of all time, and why? And what type? Like, what genre? Comedy, horror?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
And it's tough. There's a hell of a lot out there.
I don't know. Probably, I mean, I'm a big fan of, like I said, Travolta. Who doesn't like John Travolta?
Exactly.
You know, he's really macho.
Pulp Fiction was one of the best. You've seen that, right? Pulp Fiction?
No.
Oh my God,
not a
you're
true
killing
story
me.
about a
What the
murderer.
fuck's the matter with you?
She likes true
Come prepared
tragic
next time.
stories. Tragic true stories. That's what she likes. Something miserable that actually happened.
Then she might like Bronx Tale. You never saw Bronx Tale either, have you?
No.
Oy vey.
That's not traffic. That's not
Well, it's
tragic, though.
partially though, like when the guy gets shot in the parking lot and all that kind of stuff. Chaz Palmieri actually, my aunt who used to live in the Bronx, she used to see him all the time in the bakery. I think he used to
Oh.
live in the area over there.
He's a fine actor.
Yeah. Is he still doing movies now, or did he retire?
I'm sure he's still doing something.
Is
I
he?
haven't seen him in a while, no.
Yeah.
But
And
he's
then,
a fine actor.
like with Pesci, I heard he retired and then he came back. Is this like definitely, to your knowledge, his last one after this, or is he going to keep going?
I
Or you
don't know. He said, like, I heard he didn't want to do The Irishman. He kept saying no, and then he finally
Oh,
agreed
really?
to do it. Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
it took a lot to get him out of retirement.
Okay, so our fans will be right back. We're going to go for a quick break. And when we return, again, we'll be with the great Jim Norton and Sarah Russi. We'll be back. Yo, we're back from the break on the show. Chris Morgan Says with the great Jim Norton, Sarah Russi, and now Jim's partner on the show, Mr. Sam Roberts by Skype. What's up?
Hey, how are you doing, Chris?
How the heck are you, man? How's everything going?
I'm good. I'm glad that you remembered this time that Jim had a co-host. That's super sweet.
The fuck you, man. Yeah, so let me tell you, man. I gotta tell you, I was watching your other podcast you were talking about with the new movie, the Fanatic movie with John Travolta. I found was incredible. Everything you had to say about it, and you were so on with that, and I didn't even realize that. If you could, I would love for you to just elaborate on that more and how you feel about it, and how he's just amazing. Where he just can't go away, and how it can give hope for people that think your career may be over, but it's not.
Oh yeah, just that John Travolta is incredible in the movie The Fanatic. Like watching his career go from, it seems like when the studio wants him to succeed, he does great movies. He does Grease. He does Saturday Night Fever.
Right.
And then he's on his own, and he just does terrible stuff like Michael. And then somebody else wants him to succeed, like Quentin Tarantino, and he does Pulp Fiction and stuff like that.
Right.
And then he's on his own, and he does stuff like Battlefield Earth. And now he's, for some reason, doing movies like Gotti, which I thought was the worst thing I'd ever seen, until John Travolta's latest vehicle, which is The Fanatic, written and directed by Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit fame.
Correct.
Which you loved, right? You said that was a spectacular film.
Tremendous. It was a tremendous film.
Wow. So a lot better than you expected, obviously.
Oh, much better than I expected. John Travolta's first line of dialogue in the film is, I can't talk long, I gotta poo.
So
That's
it starts off cute, but it's a good movie about a fan.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Fanatic. Yeah, he's a fan who is obsessed with a celebrity, and he ends
Okay.
up going to the celebrity's house, and it's just a whole. It's really a carnival ride. It's a carnival ride of terror.
Yeah.
Oh, so then you like that, Sarah?
Yeah.
And I guess again, you haven't seen the finale. You love it, right up your alley.
Yeah. Robert Duvall is in it. It's got a weird
Oh,
cast.
Duvall's in it as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. I gotta see it now. Gotta
Yeah.
see it. Yes. Also, Sam,
But he's in the Lonesome Dove character. Did you ever see Lonesome Dove?
I haven't.
Yeah,
I
he's
haven't.
playing that type of character.
I wish
It's
I knew
odd,
what it
but
was.
it's almost a spin-off of Lonesome Dove.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, I'll have to check into that as well.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Also, as you know, I'm a big wrestling fan,
Yeah,
as you are as well.
I am.
And I've heard of some of the stuff you do with wrestling, and I've been dying to just know, like, who were some of the greatest people that you've interviewed that you've had the best chemistry with? Why? How did it go? Just divulge on that if you would. I would love to hear what you got to say about it.
I always we just had him on the show, me and Jim, a week or two ago. Triple H is always, just a fantastic guest.
No,
Because
get out! Really? A week
Yeah.
ago?
I spanked a
Oh.
girl with him years ago.
Get
I
the
spanked-
fuck out of here!
I spanked a girl with Triple H.
Well, you gotta tell me. You guys gotta fill me in on this
It
one.
was it was just on the Opie and Anthony show, and there was I don't remember who she was or why she was half naked, but we spanked her together. It was a fine moment. Fine moment. Yeah.
Any
I
other?
teabagged a girl with Andre the Giant.
What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck!
it's true. When Andre went in for the teabag, the girl unfortunately suffocated and passed away. But it was still, it's a funny story other than the end.
Yeah, it covered her face like the blob in the bowling alley. He had a big bag.
Yeah, he did. He was a giant man, and God rest his soul.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
Any other fantastic special episodes that stand out and why? Who are the craziest people out of them all that you've met
I don't know who was
in
crazy.
real life?
Jimmy
the
Snuka
Ultimate
hit on him.
Warrior was actually
the-
a lot
what?
cooler than I thought he would be. I interviewed the Ultimate Warrior not too long before he passed away,
Right.
and he was actually he was great. I thought he would be a little bit difficult, but he was super cool. And I don't know who's crazy. Nobody's really crazy. Everybody's a professional.
Right.
How about the time Jimmy Snuka was flirting with you and rubbing your back and trying to get you to go to his room?
No, that is true. There was that. I try to not bring that up because it was uncomfortable for me as a fan to kind of turn down his advances.
Yeah.
Oh, so he wasn't just fucking around.
No. He liked Sam. He had a thing for Sam because he had his wiry hair.
Oh, is that what it was?
I was barefoot at the time.
Yep.
And Jimmy, he always loved
Always
to do
wrestle barefoot. Yeah.
He thought Sam might be Samoan, and they just had a conversation.
Holy
Yeah.
mackerel, that's crazy. And also, Sam, so your opinion on how your buddy Jim did in The Irishman? Critique, damn it.
I thought I was very excited for Jim when I found out he was going to be in The Irishman, and I got to see it. He brought me to the premiere, and I think he was fairly embarrassed. He missed most of his lines, and for some reason they left it in the movie kind of to make him look bad, which I didn't think was all that necessary. But he actually, at the after party, he talked to Scorsese about it, and Scorsese said that he had needed the scene in the film, but that Jim had unfortunately performed so poorly that was actually the best version that he had.
Yeah,
So-
they dubbed
Really?
it. Yeah, they dubbed in lines from with
Yeah.
another actor over my head.
Oh, so you didn't know this at the beginning, but you
No,
found out
no,
later
no,
on. Were you
yeah.
pissed off about it? Or?
No, it was okay.
Really? You didn't talk to anybody about it and say, hey, why'd you do that? Or
No, not at all.
not at all?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Matter of fact, they said, we went up to Scorsese and, Jim was a little shy about it, but I said, Marty, this is my co-host. It kind of makes the show look bad.
Right.
And he pulled me aside. He said, Sam, we love Jim. He performed so poorly that this was all we could do to actually make him look better. They said that all the film that they had, he used the word unusable,
Yeah,
so
he did.
that was-
Really?
Unusable. Yeah.
Wait, and he were usable. That's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
They
you know?
found something. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he described it as piecemeal. They piecemealed together
Yeah.
a
Okay.
semblance of a scene based on the material Jim had
What
given.
did he say, Sam? You might remember something. How did he say he rigged it?
I don't remember exactly.
Come on, speak. Speak.
I had a few drinks that night. I don't remember the
You?
the entire conversation, but it was quite a party anyway.
Oh, let's see. All right, let's get a little bit more Sarah involved here. I feel like
Yeah,
she's
I
kind of
just-
left in the cold.
Yeah.
But it's half a fucking fault. She doesn't know any fucking movie I know here. So, Sarah, I've seen the episode you were on of Chip Chipperson and how that ended. Kind of interesting. And I got to ask you, you being who you are, your talent, your skill, and everything like that, so you found this guy, you're going out, and then all of a sudden he kind of did what he did, and you didn't like that. And so my question to you is, do you trust a guy like that? And why would you want to be with a guy like that if he's doing that to you? I mean, has it been the same, your relationship since then? Is it on the rocks? I mean, I personally think you should kind of keep your prospects open because, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, but that's just how I feel. I don't know how Jim feels about it, but what do you feel about it?
Well, when it first happened, obviously I was upset and our relationship was kind of rocky after that. That's why I kind of blew up on him on Chip Chipperson's show. And a little while after, I started to trust him again. And I feel like he just made a mistake.
Yeah, but once a cheater, always a cheater. What do you think, Jim? What's
Well,
your
it wasn't
input?
like he had an affair. He just,
Yeah, but it's still kind of, it's in the act, obviously I feel if someone's going out and doing that maybe he feels that there's some kind of lacking in the bedroom somewhere. I don't know, which I don't see how. I wouldn't be, complaining or anything like that if I was with someone, who
But
had this shit
Mason has
together.
he's a small guy, but he has a legendarily large penis. That's what he's been known for
What?
many years. He has a giant dick.
Is that true?
yeah, it is true.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's been known for that. I don't know how people knew. Somebody saw it in a locker room years ago, and it's like the legend. So people get that reputation, like James Woods, Mason Reese, Chaplin. Certain guys have giant dicks.
So that's what's keeping you around.
Well, do you think what he did was terrible? How would you react if the person you were dating?
I would think that's disgusting. I'm like, am I doing something wrong in the bedroom? Like, what's making you go out and do these other things? Obviously there's a dissatisfaction somewhere in there in his mind that makes him impulse to go out and do other shit elsewhere. How do you feel about it?
I think he was just being a guy.
Well,
I gave him a pass, and he told me that I also can have a pass, although I don't know how I'd use that pass.
Oh,
are you guys available?
Huh?
well, I'll tell you what. I actually had a good idea before the show. If you ever were interested, I was thinking that if you ever wanted to chill out and go on a first date, I'd take you to say because I never been to one of these, and I would love to experience this, one of them haunted house things.
Really?
I've never done one.
I think I'd be so scared. I've never done it before.
It sounds interesting. If you're ever interested, we'll go. If you want to go.
Where is it?
They're all over the fucking place. Have you ever done one?
No, I want to go on a haunted hayride. I've never done any of that either.
They have one of those in Texas where the people actually come out of the cornfields with chainsaws and scare the fuck out of you. Yeah, that's one you got to do. If you would love it if you're really into that kind of shit.
Yeah,
But
I get very frightened.
I'm sorry.
I'd get very frightened.
You
in a
mean with the
haunted
chainsaw
house.
shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially at night.
Scare me bright memories.
Absolutely. You've never done the haunted house thing? I've never done it either.
I've been to Salem.
Oh,
Supposedly
the Salem witch
haunted.
thing in Massachusetts. Yeah.
What'd you do there?
Not much. I did a photo shoot.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't really go to a haunted house or
Nothing
whatever.
witch oriented.
No.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
She's got
I went
the
to a
Ouija.
house of horrors once, and it was a house of horrors, but horrors of feelings. So it would be like just people being mocked or being treated unfairly,
Right.
or certain sensitivities being ignored, and it was just kind of not only a night of entertainment but a night of learning.
Correct.
Well, Sam was at one point very close with Jeffrey Epstein. So he would see all these things happening where
Oh,
he
wow.
would go over there. Yeah. He would meet Prince Andrew at the airport, and they would go to Jeff's house. And this was long after he should have been friends with Epstein. So Sam saw a lot of stuff over there.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking of the haunted house, so you never really got into the haunted house thing, Sam?
I mean, no, I'm more of like I said, I like sort of the realistic stuff where for me, if it's gonna be entertainment, it
Yes.
needs to have a bigger message. It needs to not only entertain but teach. Because to me, I believe that children are the future, and if you teach them well, you can watch them lead the way.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, it's a valid point. It's a
You agree?
valid point.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Fair.
You guys have any questions for me? Anything you want to know more about me?
Well, Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just there's actually a couple of things off the top of my mind that I was wondering about. Like, do you still? Because I know legally you can't call yourself the bagel boss anymore. We don't do that. We don't even talk about it. We changed that. But legally, can you still have bagels for breakfast?
Of course I could, just not there.
Are you
Oh,
not
I see.
allowed in there?
No, I could actually get arrested from what I heard.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, it's that
That's
freaking
crazy.
ridiculous. Almost every morning, I have breakfast over at the Dunkin' Donuts in that same parking lot. And when you turn your head, like you could see about 100 feet away, the store's right there.
You should drive through the front window like the Terminator in the police station.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, why
already.
not?
I'm ahead of you, Jim. Yeah, absolutely. But that place is always packed.
It is, right?
Always.
Fine bagels, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think
I
they're
like a
open at
good
5 in the
bagel.
morning.
Yeah, nice hot bagel.
Yeah.
What's
are
your
they-
favorite bagel?
My favorite
Both
bagel?
of you guys.
Well, you go ahead, Jim. What's your favorite bagel?
I like an egg bagel with diarrhea on it.
Mayonnaise with that? You, Sam, what do you like, you sick freak?
Oh, for me, yeah, no, I like I kind of like poppy seed, with a side of just a mixed side of bodily fluids for dipping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armpit sweat.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
all.
exactly stuff like that. A little I don't know what the medical term is for butt juice, but whatever you would call that, a little like cup of it,
a little nipple milk, all that
and-
shit,
and some ranch too.
and some ranch. And okay, mine's
Yeah.
just an everything bagel with all kinds of bodily fluids and shit, piss and cum and everything on. Yummy.
That's
No.
disgusting.
No,
Yeah.
in all reality, I love an everything bagel with lox cream cheese. That's my thing. Love lox. You guys are a
That's it.
fan of lox?
I'll tell you this: maybe one day
That's
you
my
choose to get
favorite.
egg whites, you become a YouTube star. Am I right, Chris?
You know about the egg whites.
I know about the egg whites.
You like egg whites, Jim?
I eat them every day, and no, I don't.
And-
I just despise them. I hate them. But
Well,
they're
you're a
healthy.
hater. Why?
They're healthy.
Why
I
so
eat
much
them.
hate?
I don't want to get fat. So what kind of bagels do you like?
The lox. The cream cheese and lox.
Well, what kind of bagel?
I like an everything bagel.
me
Yeah,
too.
toasted or untoasted?
Toasted.
Yeah, it depends on the politics of the day.
Yeah, I would actually have to agree. Yes.
Now,
Any other
Chris,
questions?
Do you regret?
Yeah.
Do you regret MF? I don't want to use any profanity, but MFing the boxing promoters at all at this point, or are you happy that showed the celebrity boxing fight with Screech?
Oh, I'm absolutely happy I did what I did. I mean, the whole thing was a shit show from the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
The transportation I was told was paid for going to Philly and back. It wasn't. So then I wasn't going to go. So my managers forked the money up for me to get there and go back. I don't know if they got reimbursed. I'm assuming they did.
Yeah.
But again, it was told to me. It was just the whole thing was just a shit show from the beginning.
And what do you prefer, Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb?
I would have to say Dr. Pepper, but I can't stand both anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Huh.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Questions? Anything else, you guys? Anything else that you guys?
I was gonna do a celebrity boxing match with Angelina back with Damon Feldman a few years ago.
Okay.
And she didn't show up.
Who is she?
Really?
Angelina from Jersey Shore.
Oh, I don't know her.
How many years ago
Oh,
was
yeah,
this?
yeah. She was one of the
This is
originals.
like
She got replaced. but now
2014.
she's
I know
back.
Damon very well, and we dated for 2 weeks.
Who's
Really?
Damon?
For 2 weeks.
He was the
Damon
promoter.
Feldman was the promoter.
Oh.
Do you know he beat up his girlfriend? There's an article.
I
She made him look
saw
like a rat.
that.
I didn't know that about him at all. Yeah,
True, or is it
It was
alleged?
crazy.
she looks like a rat. You didn't see it, Jim or Sam? The picture?
No.
She looks like a raccoon. She got beat up so bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Beat the
didn't hear
shit
about
out of her.
it. I didn't hear about it.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah.
even know who he is. I mean, maybe I've heard of him, but I can't place him.
It seems to be like every boxing match he does, they either flake out at the last minute or they just don't show up.
His name's David?
Damon.
Damon.
Oh, Damon.
So I'm wondering
Oh.
how
Damon Wayans?
I don't even know his
Damon
last name.
Feldman.
Oh, Feldman.
Is
right,
he related
right.
to Damon Dash?
No.
Oh.
Well,
Do you have a favorite? I mean, and that to me, it's come up to me on the street a couple times when people find out that I know you, Chris, and they know you from the internet and stuff.
right.
They all ask me, with the Bagel guy or Chris Morgan or whatever name they call you, they say, does he have a favorite Wayans brother?
No,
Oh, all right. I'll let
not
them
at
know.
all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
All right, that's good. I'll put that in the old notebook.
What else? Anything else you guys want to know? Anything? Anything? Hit me with it.
Where do you live
Come on.
now?
What's your address?
I'm in Suffolk County, in Long Island, like around Babylon.
Is that where you grew up?
No, well, not far from there. Massapequa is where I grew up. So I'm living now maybe 20 minutes east of there. It's kind of like maybe not quite in the middle of Long Island, but almost out east in the middle of Long Island.
Do you still consider your two-part question? Number one,
Yeah.
do you still consider yourself the Martin Luther King for short people? And number
Yes.
two, what's your social security number?
888 FUCKYOU.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you heard about that one. Oh, my God. That was a disaster. I got like some call from supposedly the U.S. Marshals one time, and I'm freaking out. And this guy was saying how like they found one of my old cars in Mexico and it was loaded with drugs and blood. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But I was scared shit. And as it turns out, it was a freaking hoax.
Wait, they asked
So-
for your social security number?
Yeah,
Did
like
you
it-
give it to him?
Well, he was like, this is going to be recorded. You know, we're going to have to see you in court. But I'm like, what is this?
Did
So
you give
they,
it to him?
unfortunately, I did. But thank God nothing since that day has happened to my bank account. Or
How long ago
anything.
was this?
This must have been about 2 months ago now. But it was hysteria's fucking phone call. I didn't know what to think. He had me so convinced. He sounded so serious. You know, it
Yeah.
didn't sound like a prank at all. You know, but yeah, it was very, very scary. My heart was pumping like, what are these guys fucking talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I
sure.
found my old Lexus in Mexico. Fuck you talking about? You know?
Yeah, I actually just got a huge investment opportunity that I'm really, really psyched about. There's I haven't said what country it is. I'll tell you guys, it's Nigeria. You might not want to leave that in the podcast, but there's a Nigerian royal family that needs American money sent over just to settle a cash dispute. But once that cash dispute is settled, they're going to send, not only are they going to send me my money back, but they're giving me like 300 to 400% interest on it. So
That's pretty cool.
Really?
I got that via email. Yeah. So I sent my money. So it'll probably be about a week to 10 days before I see the return, but I'm good with investments usually.
Sure.
So I'm
That's good.
Yeah.
You've been too quiet. Come on, say some more.
who?
Let me
No,
think,
not you, Sam. You're a
of-
blabbermouth. You get sickening to listen to.
Let me think of what I want to ask you.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, I love you. You know that, Sammy.
I do. You're a good man.
Thank you. Likewise, guys. Come on, Sarah. Come on.
Who
Where's
would
your
you-
notebook, Sarah?
Who
Come on.
would you like to step in the ring with?
I'm not-
Oh.
I'm not really a boxer, but my high school bully. That's who.
What did he do to you that was so bad?
He would always get on the bus in the morning. He would like hit my leg to move over. He'd sit on the bus. He'd spit like between my legs on the floor. Then I was in a bunch of his classes, and he would just make stupid remarks. And then when I would tell him to shut up, he would come from behind after class and like corner me and he like punch me in the leg, shit like that, and then walk away.
Who's the creepy neighbor?
Oh,
Don't say his name. Don't say his name because you don't get sued. But
yeah.
how old was the neighbor, the creepy neighbor?
He was 17 and I was 12. He lived on the corner from my parents' house.
And you knew him.
I knew the whole family. Yeah, for many years. And then his younger brother, who was 2 years older than me, he moved to Vermont years ago. And then the one that did it, who's 4 years older, he had moved to Florida. And then I don't know where his parents went. But the parents were there for many years after the kids moved out. And now they're gone, and I don't know where the hell they live.
How long did it happen for?
It only happened 2 times. So, but when I was 12.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess you read about it too, Sarah, the article in the New York Times.
Yeah, I did read about it.
Jeez, I guess news spreads fucking fast on it.
What'd they
But-
say in the Times?
Just basically what I elaborated on the story and when it happened and how it affected me and how I wasn't nervous at all about, talking openly about it. And the guy actually called me back and, he asked my authorization to publicize. I said, yeah, absolutely. And I think it would be a big inspiration for all those who went through the same shit to hear it. Wow. This guy, same thing happened to him. And since I'm so many people's idols, wow, if he handled it this way and got through it, hopefully it gives hope for people that don't feel embarrassed or oh, I don't feel no good. That's not true. You were a victim of something that wasn't your fault. And if I could be a beacon of light to anybody, to just fight it, stand up for yourself, and don't let anybody get away with that shit. You're a human being, for God's sakes. You know, absolutely. Did you? I mean, you guys, thank God, none of you three experienced anything like that, right? At
No.
all? Or you didn't know anybody that went through that, and so what did they do?
Sam did, but he was on the other end of it.
So you had the French tickler, you bastard, didn't you? Sam, I know you got those ropes and cuffs.
Yeah, but this isn't the Sam Roberts show after all. I don't want to steal the spotlight.
Go, steal the spotlight. I dare you. Tell me. So what are you guys doing for Halloween? You going trick-or-treating? You putting on the masks or what?
I don't
Well,
know what I'm doing
unfortunately,
yet.
Jim was planning on it, but he just got a letter that he's not allowed within 300 feet of a gathering of children under the age of 18. So Jim's not going to be able to participate in Halloween.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have them knock on my door.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Are you bullshit?
No, it's not. It was not a sexual thing. It was this that I one time I stole a school bus and it was full of kids, and I let it go into the lake, and they were all rescued, unfortunately.
You should make a movie out of that. She'll buy the first ticket.
No, I don't really do much for Halloween. It would be fun to deal with trick or treat. I've never done it because I just never want to be bothered.
Me neither. Did you ever like trick-or-treating? Did you do a lot as a
Oh
kid?
yeah, I loved
You
it.
outgrew
I
it fast?
loved dressing up.
What was
like,
your
as a
favorite
kid-
costume you always wore?
The Scream costume with the blood running down it, and the Phantom of the Opera.
Great movies, yeah.
Yeah.
You like those movies too, Jim and Sam? The
I saw
Scream?
Scream. Sam's a big fan of the opera guy.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah, I like. I just like opera, so the Phantom of the Opera was good for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? I hate opera. That and country, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's so annoying to me. Yeah. You. What about you?
I don't really
What?
listen to either one.
No? How about you?
No.
Oh, so you're the only one on that one, Sam.
Oh, look at me on my own island, huh?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's right.
So, what? Any other interesting guests coming up on the wrestling podcast soon?
Well, yeah, we just put out a show on Monday with Ric Flair and Charlotte, and who else is on that? Bobby Lashley is on it. It's a really good one.
Oh, wow. So, how were all they in person? Like, good chemistry with them, or?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, yeah, they're wrestlers are generally very good interviewers. I mean, interviews, just because they're so good at speaking publicly.
Yeah. Last time I heard too, Ric Flair was doing that thing kind of like Cameo, where I think he was charging like $300 a minute or something.
Oh, to say hello to somebody, yeah.
Yeah. Does he still do that?
I think so. His Cameo is very successful. You're still doing Cameo, right?
It slowed down, but yeah, I was. Yeah, I did over like 215 of them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys ever do the cameos at all, or
They keep asking. I've said I've never done it. No.
why?
I don't
I
know.
keep getting messages about it.
How about you?
It makes me feel cheap, if I can be honest, Chris. It makes me feel like I'm being exploited.
Why?
Something about the Cameo process makes me feel like the customers are more interested in my body than what I have to say.
Interesting. You feel
Yeah,
the same
and
way,
I don't
Jim,
see
or
that's
like
not for me. I don't. I like to be known for my brain
right?
and not my physical. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I got you.
They asked me once or twice, but then I wrote back and they didn't write back, so I think it was a scam.
Oh, Jesus Christ, the bastards!
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like fun though.
Yes, it does. You never got into cameos? You never done them at all?
I've thought about signing up for it, but I'm already on Celeb VM.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you heard of that one?
Yes, I
What's
have
that?
actually.
It's like the same thing. It's like a video messaging thing where
Oh.
it is pretty much the same thing, right? They have the same requests.
I heard of it. I forget what the difference is, but it's in concept, Jimmy and Sam. Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
I'm so old. I heard VM. I thought voicemail.
Yeah, right.
Didn't
Me
realize it
too.
was video messaging.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
could do both. You could do it's easy to do, and
Mhm.
they create the account for you, and that's it. You do it, it goes right into your account. Boom, done. But you should do it, and you get 2 avenues to make more money.
Well,
Fuck
I
it.
don't really get that many requests on Celeb VM. I mostly get requests for other kind of videos.
Understandable. But you should. I mean, explore every avenue. You can't hurt.
Yeah,
Extra
that's
money in your
true.
pocket. You know.
You write
Rep-
back and say, I don't like that type of talk.
Yes, I yell at them.
I don't go for that type of talk.
Do you scare them away because you talk too dirty to them?
Whoa.
No, sometimes they scare me away.
They scare you away. Like, what are some of the worst things that frighten you the fuck away?
Oh my God, there was this one guy who was talking about choking me until I die.
What?
Yeah, we were like having phone sex. He was talking about choking me till I die and then saying that I'm 13, like pretending I'm underage. I hate the guys who call and pretend that I'm underage.
How old did he sound, this guy?
Like in his 20s. And he texts me after on Sex Panther, that's the site I use, and he says, this is not anything I would actually do in real life, but it still creeped me out.
Yeah, see, I'm into role play, but I prefer it the other way. I want a girl to pretend she's really old. You know, pretend you're pushing 90.
I take a different direction. I like pranking old people. It's just hysterical.
What do you do?
Phone calls. I record them, put them on my Twitter, just, for like footage to keep the fans interested.
What do
'Cause
you
I-
say to them?
Oh, all different kind of stuff. Like I stick to the Jerky Boys style. You guys remember the Jerky Boys, right?
Yeah.
You remember that? You got to know the Jerky Boys.
Oh,
Please.
I met Johnny Brennan.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very
Oh,
I
funny.
sat down
God.
next to him at the SDR show. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, of course. I used to have their CDs growing in the 90s.
No, she means
That-
SDR.
Yeah, SDR show.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My
Is that
bad.
Ralph Sutton
That,
and
no.
Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was really nice, but I've never really listened to the Jerky Boys. My dad loved them, though.
They're very funny.
Yes.
Really funny.
Yes. The most popular one, I would say, is the Terrorist Pizza one. Remember that one?
No.
You say, remember that one, the Terrorist Pizza?
Oh yeah. So that's what you do for your prank calls? You just do whatever the Jerky Boys did?
I kind of adhere to their style, yeah, but I come up with different topics, but some are good, some calls aren't good, but I find it a lot of fun. The fans seem to love it,
That's important at the end of the day. Is
what's
the
that?
fans.
What's that?
The fans. That's really what's important at the end of the day. Am
Yeah.
I right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So this is at the end of the day, this is all for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same like what you're doing, keeping your fans. Now you've never, you don't do porn, none of that. You just do the webcam and and you also you're a did you say you were a stripper as well, or
No, he's
I've
a
done
radio
some
host.
dancing. I'm really bad at dancing. I prefer to do camming.
okay, so you wouldn't like feel comfortable going into like a strip club and pole dancing in front of
Well,
a whole
I
crowd
have.
of people?
I've done Penthouse Baltimore.
Okay.
So when I'm on my way from Pittsburgh to New York and then back and forth, I
Yeah.
stop there.
You a bad
And-
dancer?
Yeah, I don't know any pole tricks. And the crowd, the first 2 times I worked there, the crowd was really rude. And I haven't been back since just because I haven't gone to back and forth yet. I just started working there recently. And I just thought the crowd was bad. Out of every like strip club experience, those 2 nights were the worst I've ever had. And
Did anybody like physically threaten you or anything, or not that bad?
no, they were just insulting me.
Yeah.
I had a few guys who were just mean, and
What did they say
When
that was
I-
insulting? Why would they insult you?
this guy made a comment about my body when I sat down to talk to him. He bought me a drink, and yet he still insulted me. And a lot of the guys would just say, "Go away, I'm broke."
Yeah, that's how most of them are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk on the counter either. I found it hard to, grab onto the railing and like walk on the counter. That was the first strip club I've been to where like you have to walk on the counter to grab the tips.
You
Yeah.
should do it, but only do like swing dancing. Do like really unsexy
that?
dances from the 20s. Like
What
when
is
they
that?
would,
Feel-
like when they would dance, they would do their little hands in a circle. Like do really unsexy 1920s dances.
That would throw them off.
Do you think that they would tip me well for that?
They might not, but it would be worth it just to annoy them.
I do a trick. I learned when I was in Chicago at this after party strip event where I was feature dancing that I can actually pick up a $1 bill with my pussy. And
What?
they really like that.
Oh
Well, it
wow!
has to
Can you
be
do it with a 5 or a
curved.
10 as well, or is it only a single?
I gotta see the believers. Clear the table off. Let's.
I can only do it with a $100 bill.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be like bent though. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
bend on the table.
Yeah, those are more sticky, the $100 bills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bend helps. If it's flat, you can't.
I
You know.
can't do it with a flat one.
No. Be like an elephant trunk, just trying to grab something a flat surface. Wouldn't happen.
Well, anyway, guys, let me tell you, it was awesome. I'm so grateful to have you guys on. I'm so glad
Sure.
to hear you showed up. Sam, you as well. I had a freaking
Fantastic.
awesome time. I hope you guys did as well.
Yep.
And I wish you all the best. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much all for coming. Thank you all again for joining the second edition of the podcast. Chris Morgan Says we will be back again, guaranteed. Until then, stay fucking tuned, damn it.